Hello guys, and welcome to another discussion video. And not too long ago, we got the trailer for the Mario movie, and then about a week ago, we got a look at the poster and everything, and since then there's been a lot that has been analyzed and picked apart. I even did that slightly myself, with both the poster and the trailer. But there's been many things that have been found throughout the past few days, and there's some interesting references to a certain game that keeps showing up throughout like the poster and everything, and a little bit with the trailer, more so the poster, because recently someone actually got the PSD file for the poster, and they found the background of the poster, which included things were not actually shown on the poster because they were obstructed by Mario. So basically, these references that were noticed were for Crazy Cap from Super Mario Odyssey. So I found that to be really interesting, because there already are some other Super Mario Odyssey references that have been found in the poster and the trailer. So one was with Toad's backpack. It had a badge for Fossil Falls and Toast Arena on his backpack, and the design of Peach's castle in the movie and everything, seen on both the poster and the trailer, looks somewhat similar to the version from Super Mario Odyssey. I know they're, like, all the versions are based on the 64 Peach's castle, but, I mean, this design in particular looks closer to Odyssey than anything else, due to how it's kind of, styled and everything. I guess that's really the closest comparison you could make, and kind of makes sense that there would be like a lot of references to Super Mario Odyssey, since this movie started production around the time that Odyssey released. That's when they were starting to kind of say that the Mario movie was going to be made by Illumination and everything. I think that was just a couple months after Odyssey released and everything. That was like in 2018, so like January 2018, I think. So that's not too long after Odyssey released. So there is a possibility that this could mean a few things. Like I said, there could be a lot of references to Super Mario Odyssey, and this movie could have somewhat of an influence from Super Mario Odyssey in terms of locations and continuity and different things like that. I think that's a possibility, given that Mario Odyssey definitely had some significant kind of things for the Mario. I know Mario doesn't really have that much of a continuity or that much consistency when looking at like lore and different things like that, but Odyssey did kind of tie some things together, because it basically kind of implied that Mario came from Donk City, because that's kind of implied to be the real world, even though it's not a real world. It's still on the same planet as the Mushroom Kingdom, it's just like on a different part, and it's just in a separate area. So I think that they're kind of bringing together some of the older stories of Mario, like how Mario got to the Mushroom Kingdom, because originally, with like some older tellings and older kind of versions of Mario, portrayals of Super Mario Bros. And everything, like through the Super Show and through the movie and through other things like that, they usually have Mario and Luigi from Brooklyn. They have like a plumbing company and different things like that, and then they're sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom. I'm thinking they might do something similar here, just with New Donk City this time instead of Brooklyn, how it was in like some of the 80s and 90s adaptations. So I think that makes a lot of sense, because Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong are going to be in the movie, and they could have some sort of Donkey Kong scene in the movie. And that would make a lot of sense, considering that Donkey Kong basically kind of canonically happened in New Donk City at this point, kind of considering that Pauline is from there, and it has all of the construction areas and girders from Donkey Kong and Super Mario Odyssey. So I definitely think there's a huge chance we could see New Donk City in this movie. I feel like that's almost definitely where Mario came. I wouldn't say definitely at this point. They might still somehow retcon Super Mario Odyssey, even though it has all the references in it, and have New York for some reason. I don't, like, there's a very small chance that they could still do that. I don't think it's very likely. I think they're just gonna stick with New Donk City. I mean, considering that Nintendo is working with Illumination on this, I think there's gonna be some sort of consistency with the Mario series overall. So I think it's going to be New Donk City that's going to be in this movie, and where Mario originally came from. It just makes sense, and I really hope they kind of expand New Donk City, like kind of have like even a better portrayal of it than it was in Super Mario Odyssey. It was great in Super Mario Odyssey as a level and everything. It was really nice, and it's definitely one of my favorite worlds in the game. It just felt a little limited due to how the game was designed and everything. I mean, the game is designed well, but just considering how it's a sandbox-style game, you're not going to have a huge open city. It's just going to be like a small area kind of awkwardly floating. I mean, you don't really think about it while you're playing the game, but when looking at like a movie adaptation and different things like that, they'll just have to do like a normal kind of looking city. But it would be interesting how they have like all the New Donk City locations and like the city hall and different things like that in some of the iconic centerpieces of New Donk City in the movie. I think that would be nice to see, and they could maybe even have like more characters. I'm pretty sure like the people living in New Donk City won't just be like the ones in Odyssey just wearing the same outfits and different things. I'm sure they'll just have regular people and they'll just call it New Donk City. I feel like that's probably the most realistic thing that they'll do. I think that the way they handled New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey, it was just kind of going for like a more interesting, unique kind of style, just because it's a 3D Mario game. But with a movie adaptation, you'd expect to see something much more realistic and something like much more like an actual like city you would see and everything. Just kind of, I guess it would just be mostly pretty similar to New York City, but kind of like with the Mario Donkey Kong twist and everything. So yeah, I think New Donk City, there's definitely a good chance of showing up in the movie. And one more thing that I think will happen in this movie is that other Odyssey locations might show up, considering that there's all of these references, like the crazy cap and everything. So I feel like the most likely ones to show up, if they actually have different locations from Odyssey, are Toast Arena and Fossil Falls, kind of like Toad's Backpack and everything, the locations shown on there. They might show other regions, but I think those are probably the most likely in case unless they do like another region not shown on Toad's Backpack just as like a reference. I don't think really that's the deciding factor, but with Toad's Backpack and everything, I think that's just there for a reference. But it would be cool if that did hint at different areas that are going to be shown in the movie. Like, in the trailer itself, it did show Bowser going to like a snowy area with the Penguin City and everything. So there are going to be different areas other than the Mushroom Kingdom in this movie, but we're not sure like what exactly is going to be shown or how exactly they're going to pull it off. Maybe like different locations throughout the Mario series, and they happen to have one from Odyssey in there. Maybe they'll do something like that. It would be cool to see like different areas from across the Mario series in the movie, but it would be really cool to see like areas from Odyssey, since it's kind of being referenced and everything with the poster and kind of a tiny bit with the trailer and everything. But yeah, I think it's cool that there are a few Super Mario Odyssey references that were already found, like either through like leaks or actually in the poster and different things like that. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.